Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Yeah, could I have Borgar?
Uh, sorry, this is a Denny's.
I'll take two
Oh.
number nines.
Number nine Lodge.
Number 6 extra dip.
I still have yet to watch the original video of that.
I mean, part of me tried to remember, like, the fucking sea cucumbers, like, instructions for the Krabby Patty in SpongeBob.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Make it cry, put it on a raft. Anyway, welcome back to Why Fear Me, I'm Only an Elf. When we last left off, I was angry.
And I was upset that Shrek isn't the main character.
We're all upset about that. Honestly, it's because this is more just lazy self-insertion more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least with other people, they were writing their own story. It wasn't necessarily a good story, but they were writing a story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In this one, it's literally just, I'm rewriting the plot of this already existing movie, but I'm having it to where my character is there and sometimes says things and kills people.
Yeah.
She has an edgy transformation where she can't control herself due to a dark past. Wait, no, this isn't even a dark past. It's just racist.
It's due to dark genetics. It's
Mhm.
eugenics. It's elf eugenics.
Well,
because apparently elves needed a rage mode because this is an anime.
well, apparently people say Shrek is the best anime, so...
Well, it's bad enough that anime always treats vampires as Super Saiyans. Now we have it to where it's the anime treatment, but with elves.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, I honestly do really dislike that in anime. Like, if it were just once or twice, that'd be okay. But with how consistent it is in, like, anime and manga, that vampires are always, like, these, like, god-tier super-powered beings. Like, Castlevania, it's just the one. It's just Alucard. Same with Helsing. But then, like, everyone except for those two is like, yeah, these are top tier monsters.
Mm-hmm.
But why though?
I just want more animes where, like, you know, a bunch of equivalents to, like, Krillin and, like, that level of people are, like, going against things and they actually win, you know? I don't want,
By
like,
using
one superpowered guy.
Yeah, by using strategy and not whoever can scream louder has the brightest
My
transformation.
number's bigger than your number.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons I like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, because, like, yeah, most of the characters are Flaming Mary Sue's, but the final boss is usually a lot more powerful than they are, and they usually use tactics in order to beat them.
I don't even say like in the context of this series, I don't think we've ever truly like done a whole this is a Mary Sue, therefore it's bad. It's more like, no, this is just not a well-written character.
Mm-hmm.
This is your self-insert, but you make yourself look like an asshole. You are not painting a good picture of yourself. Why are you like this in your own story? Like, that's more the issue that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been I don't think we've ever had a moment where it was just like, this is a Mary Sue, therefore bad. Like, I don't think we've ever just outright called something a Mary Sue.
We haven't. I've thought it quite a few times, but I haven't said that out loud.
Well, it's kind of the whole thing, though, of like Mary Sue, like just calling something a Mary Sue is such a lazy criticism.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, instead of just calling it a Mary Sue, how about you actually go into what makes what they're doing writing-wise good or bad? Why is this a bad character? Instead of
Someone
just...
as someone who's done a lot of online role plays with people who are just doing this for power fantasies and stuff, I can understand having a Mary Sue character. It's just fun to do sometimes, to just have a character that can do all and like literally do everything and anything they want to in the universe just to help explore it, but like just can't make them boring or just bad people.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, is don't make them boring. Have it to where they're challenged. If they aren't challenged physically, then have them be challenged philosophically, morally, psychologically. You can just make sure that your character never has... make sure that your character, at very least, doesn't have everything handed to them.
Yeah, like I was about to say, don't have the world bend over backwards and just give the character everything because they're the main character.
Don't do the lazy thing of whoever calls out the main character is obviously just an asshole who's in the wrong.
Mm-hmm. These are fairly common writing criticisms, but
yeah,
well, based on some of these fan fictions that we've read, there are still people who need to kind of realize that that's not good writing type thing.
Well, I mean, granted, a lot of these people, these would be like some of their first writing projects.
Well, yeah,
20 Druidic Cats, on the other hand, has been writing for a very long time.
What were you saying,
And
Jay?
I was about to say, yeah, most of these people aren't professionals, but then I remember we read that really bad Twilight book from Edward's perspective, and I gotta say, sometimes even experts trip and fall horribly.
A wizard should know better.
The only difference between amateurs and professionals is funding.
I was about to say, yeah, the only difference is that professionals get paid.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're not professionals.
But you're technically getting paid now.
That's a good point. I am technically getting paid.
I still don't think we're professional, but that's besides the point.
I mean, I'm not getting paid by YouTube. I'm getting crowdfunded, but...
This is technically an indie startup.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
We're an indie startup for literary reviews. And eventually I'll get my own writings out there.
Well, crowdfunding's a better way to go anyway, in my opinion, but...
I can crowdfund my own books being published.
Mm-hmm.
Still better than self-publishing, Greg. Anyway, let's start this. We're on chapter 13.
As fun as this conversation is, yes.
Author's note. Thank you, PCA student, Kitty Cat Girl, Red Rose Girl 3, Crazy Pops, D, Setsuna no, God fucking damn it, Japanese.
Noyamano.
Setsuna no Yama, don't fucking interrupt me.
Noyamano.
Setsuna no Yamano, X Angel Wings X, Platinum Gal, Chipette Star, and Angel 2 for reviewing. I absolutely adore you guys. You all deserve pie, ice cream, brownies, and any other kind of... I fucking hate dessert and dessert. Fucking hell.
Well, she spelled it correctly in this one.
She spelled it correctly, but the fact that the words are done the opposite of how they should. Spelling-wise, they're flipped.
Just like weird is a weird word.
And any other kind of dessert you want. So is protein. But beware, the cake is the like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. What was this chapter put out? This story was last updated in 2016. You have no excuse.
I mean, we use dead memes on this channel too, so...
Yes, but there's a difference between dead and currently the skeleton no longer exists. Lamau XD, I never knew Artie's actions would cause such an uproar. What has Artie done in this story again?
I don't know.
Not much.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, this is the next chapter, and I hope it's up to par. Well, so far, par hasn't been very high bar.
Mm-hmm.
So probably. No, this is not the last chapter, we know. I have more in store for Ava. Well, please read and review since you know I love them.
I presume these are princesses. They threw Puss and Donkey in, then shoved me roughly, making me fall to the ground. One of the women helped me up.
I'm assuming that this is Ava.
Probably.
Being as this time you didn't feel the need to label whose perspective it was.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I heard the phrase dead meme, and I had to mute myself for a bit before I said, something revolving lettuce and burgers.
Fucking hell. You could have said worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like boneless pizza.
Motherfucker!
Yeah, could I get a bonelet? Smiling, I said, thanks. This is the part where I get replaced with one of the Patreon users, isn't it?
This is the part where I beat you to death with Tom's dead body.
How about a boneless human, huh? Wanna eat that, huh?
Like that one scene, I can't remember which DC comic what it was, but like Hal Jordan is being used to beat someone else. Like the villain, whoever the villain is, I can't remember who it was. I think it was that lady in the black costume with like the lightning bolts across it.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
I can't remember who she is, but she had like Hal Jordan by the ankle and was using him to beat someone else to death.
Was Hal Jordan still alive? That's the question.
I mean, I think he is, but at the same time, Hal Jordan is no one's favorite Green Lantern. So would you really care?
Yes, actually. I like all the Green Lanterns.
He
Even
is
Guy
the most-
Gardner.
Guy Gardner's better than Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan is the most boring of the Green Lanterns because his whole thing is he's the strongest of the willpower. And that's all. That's his entire character.
He's got a military background and uses some of that in different things. He was a test pilot, among other things. But like, I mean, what's the black dude's name? He's
I think Rainer.
Maybe I don't
Rainer?
know. I think so. He's my favorite. He's really cool because he's not the most willpower.
I don't remember his name, but he's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not Kyle Rayner. Fucking hell. I'm trying to remember the various John Stewart.
There we go.
John Stewart.
Oh, that's why I
fuck
forgot his
was
name.
Kyle
It's generic.
Rayner? His name's generic. He has the whitest name of all of them.
Kyle Rayner, I think, was the first Green Lantern, but
no, that was the dude in the red suit. That was the one that had a weakness to wood.
What?
The lantern was an entirely different kind of lantern. It wasn't like the whole willpower constructs. It was just straight up magic.
Okay, I think he was just a regular Green Lantern officer. So
anyway, all the women turned to stare at me.
Stop! You violated the law.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow in the knee.
What? Do I
Now
have
I
something
can
on my
walk.
face? I asked self-consciously.
What? Who are you? One of the women asked.
I'm Ava.
From
I
Ava's
replied.
Demons.
Oh god. Oh god, this is gonna get adorable looking but horrific. There's gonna be a cult. There's gonna be like these god level beings in space. It's gonna be great. And the main character is gonna be adorable and terrifying all at the same time. She's killed a lot of people.
What are you doing here, donkey? The ogress, whom I think is Fiona, asked, turning to Puss.
Well, that was weird.
I think all of them got a pretty good shock when Donkey answered in Puss's body. Biting my lip in an effort not to giggle, I leaned against the wall and listened to Donkey explaining our situation. Fiona looked alarmed at Shrek's fate, then looked determined.
We need to get out of here now, I stated forcefully. You contribute nothing.
You're right, the princess with short black hair said. Ladies, assume the position.
Fucking hell, I'm just
All of them
read
start
what you put in.
dabbing.
God damn it.
Three of the princesses took on helpless poses, making Fiona and I scoff. Oh, how dare these women.
I'm going
Imagine if
to
it was
German
common.
suplex the main character.
What if it
I
was common
swear to
practice
God.
to teach princesses like fencing or something?
I swear to God, it feels like this main character was in fact written by a middle-aged white man who thinks he knows what feminism is, but isn't really sure.
Really, this sounds like Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven's Way's prep problem, but in a different light.
But written by a middle-aged white studio head. This feels like it'd be straight out of She's the Man. And other 90s era girl power movies. What in the name of Mariara's name? Fucking hell. What in Mariara's name are you doing? I asked disbelievingly, pushing off from the wall and crossing my arms.
Waiting to be rescued, one of them replied, making me raise an eyebrow.
Like I said, teach princesses fencing.
Teach them all of the art of the stab. Do it like early feminism. Teach them all jujitsu.
I was about to say, do you want to teach them the punchy abilities? Do you want to teach them the fancy stab or the normal stab?
Back whenever women were being taught how to protect themselves during protest via jujitsu, knife fighting, and straight up just shooting people. Oh, you're gonna try and forcibly drag me away from this protest? Bang! Fuck you.
Well, what do you expect us to do? Is that my line?
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
just three super hot princesses, 3 circus freaks, a pregnant ogre, and an old lady, the princess with black hair asked.
Oh my fucking god. Hey, who are you calling a circus freak, human? Okay, first off, if you want to do this right, you call them round ears.
Now, what's happening here is she isn't calling her the circus freak. She's calling her the old lady, assuming she's an elf.
Because elf.
Yeah.
I growled. I'm an elf, thank you very much. This fanfiction can't even prejudice right. and that elf is gonna bust you all out of here.
She pulls out schematics for the castle.
I get it. You want to put yourself in the store. You want to make yourself all cool and badass, but this isn't cool and badass. It's just bad.
The elderly woman turned to me and said, "Please excuse our manners. I'm Queen Lillian, and this is Fiona, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and Doris."
Hi. Is it Doris, one of the stepsisters?
Maybe?
The queen pointed to each princess in turn, landing on the more plainer woman in the cell.
The one with the square jaw and the mole? Weird definition of plainer. Was it Doris? Oh, fuck, now I gotta search.
Yep, she's a stepsister.
Oh, God. Oh, I hope she has lines. I hope she has lines. Oh, fuck. Who just spoke?
Me, I think.
Okay. The ogre smiled and turned to Donkey and Puss, saying, "Once we get out of here, you two will go into town and round up the others, then meet us back at the castle."
They both saluted her with grins.
How does Donkey salute?
That's an excellent question that I never want to know the answer to.
Now, how are you going to get us out? Fiona asked, turning to me.
I never thought this far ahead. Smiling, I closed my eyes and allowed some of my bloodlust to strengthen my limbs. Jesus fucking Christ. Opening my eyes, I drew back my fist and punched the wall, breaking my head. I mean, through the stone.
Did she just no-sell a rock?
Did she just break a wall with her fist?
Yep.
Granted, Fiona's mother, and I believe Doris, also did. But you were neither of them.
Mm-hmm. But Llytic, she's an elf who has that bloodlust thing.
I didn't even know that worked on walls. I thought that was for people.
I fucking hate this wall. Fuck you, wall.
The wall called me knife ears. Nope, just me. I'm behind the wall.
God damn it, Tom. Can you stop racisting at the elves for 5 seconds?
Never!
5 fucking seconds.
I've gone a couple episodes without saying anything.
It's my time to stand.
You see, now I'm just going to, in a campaign where you're DMing, go out of my way to make an elf character.
Oh, me too. I've already been expecting that.
It's going to be an all-elf party, and you're going to have to DM.
I'm going to make an elf character for the next campaign. I'm a player, a D&D campaign. I'm a player in.
Ooh, what's the plot?
I don't know. It's just okay.
I was about to say there's a chance the next one might be that Planeswalker one, but
the Planeswalker one, I'm playing a turtle.
Yeah, I already know what you're planning for that one.
Is it a sea turtle?
I'm saying the next campaign that involves like player characters. Like if one of y'all is running it, I will make an elf character.
It's more of a tortoise.
Yeah, it's. I'm actually basing him on a. What was it?
Is he a land turtle?
Yes, he's a land
tortoise.
All right, then we could still be friends.
Mm-hmm. He's a land turtle, but he's a warlock of the deep. So,
I mean, with the way that you explained how your patron works, I'm kind of tempted to just have it to where it's almost like a Bane, not a Bane, holy shit, a Brock Venom dynamic of just the patron constantly talking in your mind.
Mm-hmm. I was
fish noises in your brain.
Well, I was going to make it to something different, but I'll get with that next.
You stated that you somehow internalized your patron.
Mm-hmm. Basically, it's like, well...
And you forget that I am everyone else in the world.
Mm-hmm. It's like the patron is basically no more. Like, he kind of exists, but kind of not.
I mean, that's no fun.
The turtle is kind of haunted by dreams, and so at some point in time, he's going to try to make it to where he never has to sleep again. But we'll see.
Really? My character's just here to kill all fish people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really just want it to where, like, you suddenly just, like, your patron telling you to go get some sushi. I require fish. Anyway.
Fish.
Hearing fake cries of shock and amazement, I strode through the hole and did the same thing with the other wall.
Standing to one side of the wall, I ushered the princesses out, crying, Ganga, Ganga!
Ah, shit, this is about to get fucking lit.
Nah, it means go.
Ganja, ganja. We're getting some weed with this escape.
Oh, weed? Oh, do you have any weed?
Yeah.
Roche, give me your weed.
I like your one polygon.
It's my favorite polygon.
Oh god, just sandwich. Extra mayo, just the way I like it. Zane.
Huh?
It's your line.
Oh, fuck, my bad. Sorry.
I followed.
I followed Puss out and jogged to catch up with the princesses. I heard the princesses discussing battle plans when I got there.
I just realized that they took away a moment from other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker. That bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
That legit bugs me.
Me too, man.
Like, god fucking damn it. Okay, Snow, when we get to the gates, there's gonna be some guards there. I want you to control the animals and have them attack the guards on my signal. There's also some things bugging me about actually having a thing where they're telling what the plan was before showing it. Whereas in the movie, they actually just straight up had the scene happen. It's like, okay, they broke out, and then you see the plan go into action. Fiona stated as we neared the gates.
She nodded and went off behind a tree while we hid behind a low wall. We carefully peeked and saw two of the tree people that tried to kidnap us at Merlin's.
The wizard should know better.
Fiona did this bird call, and Snow jumped out from behind her tree, singing. Surprisingly, the animals all came out to listen to her. Then she started to scream. And the animals rushed to attack the tree people.
And then Barracuda started playing.
Once the trees were distracted, we all sprang out from our hiding place and rushed to the gates, where Doris punched the lock off.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We all rushed through, and a few guards came rushing out. Cinderella took 2 of them out with her glass slipper, while Sleeping Beauty made the other 2 trip over her body. Fiona and the other princesses bounced on the tarp over the high wall, while I just barely jumped over it. Yeet! I could just picture her like slowly ascending off the ground, hovering over, and then just falling back down.
T-poses gently into the air. Whoop. Just ascending slide whistle as she moves.
For my D&D campaign I'm doing with the fake devil fruit, I should just have the T-pose fruit.
Oh god.
And as long as you're in a T-pose thing, you can fly.
But you also make a slide whistle noise as you do it.
It's actually a pretty good impression of a slide whistle.
We ran across the roof and slid down one side. A few guards were standing behind a corner, and Doris knocked them out with a swift kick to the head. One of them had a bow and quiver on them. I bit down and stole both of them. You stole the guards? Quickly buckling the quiver onto my back and stringing the dark wooded bow. Why would it not have been strung in the first place? Or am I misunderstanding what stringing a bow means?
Maybe they had their spears and they were just carrying their bows on their back and they didn't think they needed them just yet, so they didn't string them. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here.
That seems inefficient. Like, you could put it strung in your quiver, right? It wouldn't bend the bow enough to where it wouldn't fit, I don't think.
Kind of not. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on longbows.
Oh, yes, archery experts in our audience, please tell us in the comments. No one else, though. And please check and see if anyone else has commented what you're about to say. If they have, don't.
Really? Just say it anyways for the meme.
Ugh.
Just repeat a comment over and over again just to piss Llytic off.
I think that might be a way to get me to actually ban you.
Dang, I need to do that then.
As we went on, we encountered more guards. All of them we knocked out. By the time we met up with Puss and Donkey, it was already dark.
Okay, we have everyone. Slightly.
and we met up with Artie, Donkey added, looking pointedly at me. That's right, bitch. Artie's our friend.
Just a sec.
Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Do 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 do.
Nope, that's not spelled right.
Yeah. Good response.
And don't call me Shirley. All right. Artie? Fiona and I stammered at the same time. Oh shit, love rival. Fuck. I'm gonna have to compete with Fiona. That's deep.
Wait, Fiona wants to fuck Artie?
That's the stupid conclusion I'm drawing from this.
I was about to say, did the movie turn out like that? Because that would have been a very weird movie.
They actually formed a throuple.
Yeah, and after we talked to him, he wanted to help. He went off somewhere right before we got here, Donkey continued.
Zane.
Huh?
It's your line.
I am sorry. I am so out of it today. I've had a long, 2 days, man.
He's
okay.
up.
He's up to something, I stated, drawing everyone's attention.
How the fuck do you know? Fiona asked, looking curious.
I just know him that well. He is my best friend, after all, I replied, the latter part softer as pain ripped through my heart.
I suddenly fell over dead.
Ooh.
My heart had detonated inside my chest.
Turns out no one had actually killed the elves. They had just their hearts had just spontaneously exploded.
Oh shit!
It was a disease.
Well, let's go. We don't have all day, I added, glancing around at the group.
All right, we need to get backstage. Any ideas? Fiona asked, looking around for suggestions. How's your German?
There's a back door. Just okay. There's a back door over there. We can get in that way. One of the pigs suggested.
I was asking because I was hoping you would do an impression, like the whole like German accent that the pigs have.
Pointed to a wooden door across the courtyard. I don't remember. I haven't seen anything beyond the first Shrek.
There's a back door over there. Fucking hell, I can't get my voice high enough right now.
There's a back door over there. I don't know.
I mean, that was closer. Zane!
We all glanced at each other and nodded, starting for the door. Surprisingly, it was unlocked and unguarded. We all quietly slipped through it and snuck behind some unused props.
I spotted an unguarded area by the mountain. It was juncture between two mountains, and it was high enough to get a good aim on Charming while remaining hidden. In the background, I heard Charming singing, then hit a high note, making me cringe. Speaking of cringe... When Charming paused to take a breath, I glanced around one more time, then rushed towards the place.
What are you doing? Fiona mouthed when I got there.
Getting myself killed.
I motioned for them to stay there, then reached up to pull the bow and arrow from the quiver.
Her eyes widened when she realized what I was going to do.
I'm gonna bust a cap in that bitch.
The cap in his head. Tom!
Where are we?
I climb.
I climbed the short ladder to a secluded platform, making my way quietly to somewhere I could get a good shot. I heard a horn blow, and Shrek rose from the ground, shackles around his wrists. I hid by a tree, carefully brushing a few leaves out of my way and knocking my bow while using the leaves to camouflage my figure. I was too far away to hear Shrek, but apparently it was pretty funny since the crowd laughed and Charming looked pissed.
Prepare, fell beast. Your time is done, Charming sang.
Well, could you kill me and then sing? Shrek asked mockingly, making the crowd roar with laughter. God damn it. Rowlet.
I had to contain my giggles, otherwise it could give me away. Charming yelled to the crowd and then turned to Shrek, saying something. He then raised his sword and I aimed my bow at him, pulling the bowstring back. Before I could release the arrow, Dragon flew overhead with her kids. And
you haven't met Dragon yet. How do you know they're just named Dragon?
Every one of the group busted out onto the stage, including Fiona and the princess. You don't know. Donkey could have told her about Dragon.
You see, I have this wife. She's
Mushu?
A dragon, but she's just named Dragon. No. Wait. God fucking damn it. That. Oh God. Whose line?
Is it anyways?
I just read my line, so I think it's Zane's.
Zane's.
Ooh, that sounds like fun, but I have a better idea, Charming stated, then clapped his hands.
No, not that one.
Which one?
One before that.
So, Charming, you want to let me out of these so we can settle this ogre to man? Shrek asked, gesturing to his shackled wrist.
Oh, that sounds like fun, but I have a better idea, Charming stated, then clapped his hands.
And ran.
The fairy tale villains all busted out of their hiding places and surrounded the stage, restraining the princesses and the others. I'm lucky no one knows about me being up here.
Why was it suddenly present tense?
Mm-hmm.
No one knows about me right now.
Mm-hmm. You will not run things this time, ogre. Kill it, Charming stated, and the villains all started for Shrek.
Everybody stop. A familiar voice called out, making all of us look up.
Artie, I breathed when I saw him.
Then I accidentally let go of the arrow.
My heart fluttered as he made his way down, but also scrunched up in pain.
Who thinks we need to settle things this way? He asked, making all of the villains raise their hand. Oh, shit, I forgot it ended this way.
You mean you want to be villains your whole lives? He continued, seeing all of the raised hands.
I kept my aim on Charming as he moved towards the tree people.
Don't just stand there. Kill them, Charming shouted, making a tree grab him so Artie could go on.
Okay.
Tom.
Fair enough. I'm not a talking tree, but a good friend once told me just because people treat you like a villain or an ogre or an outcast because of what you are doesn't mean you are one, Artie stated, looking around at the assembled villains.
I didn't learn this from my best friend. I learned it from the ogre I just met. Get fucked, Ava.
If you even came out and stated that what they wanted to do, finally they all threw down their weapons in a truce.
Yeah. Charming fought his way out of the tree's grasp and bent down to pick up a discarded sword. He rushed towards Artie with a sword raised above his head.
I quickly let the arrow loose, hitting Charming in the arm. I quickly knocked another arrow and let it fly, hitting the man between the ribs. Charming dropped his sword after the first arrow and fell to his knees after the second one hit him, the crown rolling across the stage.
Unfortunately, I let loose a third one as he fell and it hit Artie instead. Oops.
Oh no. Everyone gasped and I looked around for the culprit.
Well, mind is...
Mind
that's
as well.
Might as well make my appearance.
I stood up and jumped down from the platform, the bow still in my hand. The former villains all cleared a path for me to the stage. As I walked, I let the Draergjarn start to take control of my actions. I stopped in front of Charming's kneeled form and drew another arrow, knocking it and drawing the bowstring back. He looked up at me with wide eyes.
The man is currently impaled.
I told
Look
you
at that, I've been
before,
impaled.
Charming. Try to hurt Artie, I'll kill you. I stayed simply not moving to aim at Charming just yet.
Oh,
Shoot
yay,
that
I
dude.
have to read this. But think of it this way. I'm only getting revenge for what you did 11 years ago, when you raped me. Yes, we realized that already. A monster like you doesn't deserve to live. I'm sure you would do the same to me if the tables were turned. I dislike it when shit like this is used as lazy plot devices.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fucking disrespectful. I continued, finally raising the bow and aiming it right between his eyes.
See you in hell, bitch, I growled and released the arrow, striking him where I intended.
The fucking whiplash.
His head jerked back, then he fell backwards, lifeless. The crowd and the people on stage all gasped in unison. I lowered the weapon and dropped it. Taking a deep breath, I released all of my bloodlust with the exhale. I glanced around in time to see Artie walk across the stage and pick the crown up.
You know, it probably would have been more effective if she had just, shot him several times without saying anything as she walked up.
And everyone's just like, why did you do that?
That actually would have been a better scene. I'm not lying. Just completely, silent, no words, just as she's walking up, just angrily firing the bow.
Just over and over and over.
Pulls out new arrow, fires, just repeatedly, which, if you do it properly, you can fire a bow rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a much more entertaining scene. That would have been better written, weirdly enough. Taking out the dialogue, letting the moment, speak for itself. You don't need a badass one-liner or a fuck you speech.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to have it to where you can carry the emotion of the scene without outright stating what characters are feeling. Anyway, whose line is it? I think it's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Shrek followed him and laid a hand on his shoulder, saying, "It's yours if you want it, but this time it's your choice."
He smiled at the ogre, then turned to glance at me, his smile getting wider. I smiled back, but mine was more tentative than his. He walked to the edge of the stage and displayed the crown to the crowd briefly before placing it on his head. The crowd went wild, obviously over the shock of my actions.
Ah. Gamas.
Artie!
God damn it.
Artie! They chanted
Nah,
as
this
if
is a
former
big
villains
brain play.
picked him up on his shoulders. Oh yeah, it's big brain time.
Well,
This
to
is
be
a
fair,
big
you have to
brain
have a
joke.
high IQ to be fair, you have to have a high IQ to understand Rick and Morty.
You have to have a pretty high IQ to understand whatever the hell this is.
Shrek?
No. Why
The
fear me?
third?
I'm only an elf.
You have to have a high IQ to understand Shrek the Third.
You have to have a pretty high IQ to understand Shrek the Third fanfiction.
Oh, God. I looked off to the sidelines with a sad smile on my face. It was almost time for me to say goodbye. Why?
Goodbye.
No, really, why? What makes you think you have to leave now? What you did was technically an act of self-defense. Or defense of others. I mean, sure, the coup de grace, not so much. But
Yeah, to
the
be
rest
fair,
of
if anyone
it...
deserved it, it was Prince Charming, but...
Well, yeah. My point is, I'm pretty sure you don't just have to leave now. When they finally set him down, Artie made a beeline towards me. My smile faded away as he got closer.
Hang on, lost my place. Look, I'm sorry for what I said back there. I didn't mean to. I apologized.
I can understand if you don't want to be friends anymore. I mean, I wouldn't be friends with me if I did. He babbled, then he was cut off with my embrace. I
was
stabbed
never...
him in the heart.
Oh, gods. I was never angry with you. I was scared that you meant it. I whispered, inhaling his scent.
When did they get into a fight?
You pervert.
Artie, yeah, I love that smell. I love the smell of Artie.
You smell different when you're awake.
You sighed in relief and hugged me back. My heart just about burst with joy and relief.
I died. Again.
I got an elf boner.
Oh, gods. No.
When we pulled apart, he smiled and said, I can't wait to start as king. I mean, we could have parties every night.
I smiled and I sighed and shook my head.
I'm leaving, Artie, I stated sadly.
Yeet. I then yeeted Artie into the crowd and I ran.
Just whoop! Bye!
This bitch empty.
Yeet.
Yeet.
Which a girl do after she's done, you know. Never mind. What? Why? Artie asked, looking confused.
What?
What?
I didn't understand any of the words you said. I started dissociating.
I'm constantly doing that, dude. Also, did I show you that thing about tall girls?
Maybe. Also, the Y is bad writing. Okay, what we oh, jeez, fucking Christ. That face at the end.
Oh, that's great.
Also, those arms. Fucking hell. Anyway. I need to go out and see the world before I settle down. I need to see where I came from and who my parents were. I explained sadly, placing my hands on Artie's shoulders.
Goodbye, Artie. You dumb shit.
You can stay here. You can get a job as a maid or something. Just
I'm sorry, what?
Artie back. I guess he's into that. Okay.
I guess we now know his fetish.
Who, mine?
No,
No.
Artie's.
Oh, God.
What's my line?
My heart.
My heart broke at the sight of his pleading face.
Can you see me working as a maid, bitch? I mean, Artie. I asked gently, then added, I know I can't, but I promise you. I'll come back. You know me. I never break my promises, except when I do.
He looked a bit happier at that, but not much.
If you don't come back, I'm putting a bounty on you. Wanted
I'm just
alive.
imagining like these two people, like one of them's royalty, like, and one of them's just like a like one of them's a noble, one of them's a great friends, and like one of them puts a capture bounty, like specifically states that they want them brought back alive. It's like from time to time, I really miss them. I'm gonna put out a bounty on them. Wanted alive.
Wanted very alive.
Very much alive.
And intact.
You know how people have... Do you know how many people I killed when you in the process of trying to invite me to this party? How many? Like 12?
We got more people in the kingdom.
Eh,
I mean,
They
you're
deserve
here,
it.
aren't you? I was
They did
brought
their-
here and I was brought here in chains. Yes, but you're here.
Maybe you shouldn't have killed all those people.
Anyway, Zane's line.
Oh, I'm eating. Hold on.
See, that's why I did my eating when Tom started talking.
Well, I just got home, buddy.
Good point.
I miss you.
I'll
miss you, he said quietly, looking at me with sad eyes. Woo-woo.
I miss you. I miss you. I haven't left yet.
It feels like you have. Starts crying.
I embraced him again and whispered, I will miss you too. When we parted again, wait, fuck.
That's my line, Llytic. I know I've been kind of falling down on the job, but geez, come
You
on,
haven't
man.
been falling down. You've been tripping down a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Or at least you admit it.
When we parted again, I stated, tell you what, I'll stay for a week to rest and resupply.
Man, these fries are really good.
Fucking hell.
You guys ever have fries? They're real good.
How long has this been going on?
The recording or?
Yes. It's been almost an hour and we're on the same chapter.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll get 2 or 3 chapters done today.
I'll miss you. I embraced him. When we parted again, I stated, A smile slipped
smile.
onto his face as he took my hand and led me to where the princesses were waiting. While he was doing that, he talked to the guards and said, make sure she doesn't leave.
Oh, God. That is never a good sign. This is why I go to dates with rich people in neutral locations. Hello again, I greeted, smiling and blushing slightly when Artie didn't let go of my hand. I broke his.
They smiled and greeted us. As Artie and the Queen talked, I tried to stifle a yawn.
Dick.
I can just picture like a high-blooded troll who somehow falls in love with a lower blood. And they're just like, I should get back to work. And then the high blood's just like, no, you really shouldn't. Grabs aggressively. You're not going anywhere.
Oh, God.
The queen noticed and said, oh, you two must be tired. Come, I'll show you to your rooms.
She glanced at Artie, who then followed us into the Who then followed us into the castle in one of the halls. Who's what? What? Were you one of the people leading? I am confused.
Mm.
Tom.
Is it my line?
Yes.
Okay, she stopped at a door and said, this is going to be your room, Ava. Good night.
I opened a door to reveal that old chamber they used to do in old olden times where, people would watch the prince and princesses go at it the first time.
Oh God, no. Oh, remind. Actually, if memory serves, they didn't watch. They just stood outside the door and listened.
She glanced at Artie, who then followed us into the castle and into one of the halls.
Nope, already did that line.
Artie and I shared one more hug before I entered the room, immediately flopping onto the bed. I closed my eyes and let the sleep wash over me.
Ganja means go.
I was
Here,
now
Cat Girl
wet.
13. Author's note. Yeah, I know you guys must hate me because of Ava's decision.
Yeah, that's the reason.
It's because the decision was bad writing. It was cliched and contrived.
And it's not that we hate you; it's that we hate the story.
Yes, there is a big difference.
Mhm.
Believe me. Distance, but you know the saying, distance makes the heart grow fonder? No. It's not how that works. That's just a thing people make up. Well, since Artie is still unsure of his feelings for Ava, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. You'll just have to keep on reading to find out. Yeah, I know. I'm a lol. No, you're just not a good author. There's a difference.
What a weirdo. Can't even keep to the Shrek canon. Or should I say, the sacred text.
The Shranin.
Ah.
The Shranin.
Chapter 14. Author's notes. Do you know what I hate the most? Writer's block. Yep, I had a pretty bad case on this chappie, but I got through it, obviously. I'm so sorry for the wait. Thank you, Kitty Cat Girl, Ellie, XXX, Angel 2, PCA Student, X Angel Wings, X, Crazy Pops D, Red Rose Girl 3, Sitsune Inoya Mano, Chipette Star, Fancy Gal X, Platinum Gal, and Evil Laughter from Crazy Girl for reviewing chapter 10, 12, and 13. Holy spirits, it's a lot of people. And to Kitty Cat Girly XXX, I'll work on that pic that you requested once I figure out how to draw Artie. LMAO. Can't draw people, especially can't draw people, especially males, worth crap. Oh, and if anyone wants to do any fan art for this story or any story of mine, go ahead. I absolutely adore fan art. If anyone needs reference Ava, there's some
you
pics.
You have given me a tool you should never have.
There's some pics on my DeviantArt account. There's a link on my profile. Thank you all for reading this story. You all deserve pie. There's no cake because the cake is a lie.
I'm going to suplex you, author. I'm going to suplex you, 20 druidic cats.
I'm going to suplex 20 druidic cats. Also, the IMDb page for imdb.com has a Shrek Extended Universe section.
Huh.
My internal alarm woke me up at the usual time.
2 in the afternoon. Perfect. Fuck off, alarm. Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
What? What?
That's not how internal alarms work.
Oh, just wait. I muttered, rolling over to try and get in a more comfortable position.
The alarm just kept buzzing, not letting me get any more rest.
This isn't your line. Wait. Oh, wait, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not how eternal alarms work. What?
Yeah, I'm confused here, but I'm just kind of rolling with it at this point in time. We're already so far.
Erica Mitchell doesn't know what a subconscious is. Zane.
I thought it was Tom's line.
I read my line.
The alarm just kept buzzing, not letting me get any more rest. Damn you?
Yes.
Damn you, I muttered as I sat up, cringing as my muscles protest.
Speaking of cringing. After a moment, I swung my feet over the edge of the bed and stood up, stretching. Wandering to the private bathroom, I did my morning routine and walked back out. So glad that elves don't sweat as much as humans do. Weird bit of lore, but okay. You have me confuzzled.
You're doing me a concern.
You have confuzzled me. I mean, granted, I made it to where elves, like the realm of Elfheim is almost like subtropical, so elves actually would sweat more in the universe I set up. But that's a different story. Otherwise, I would be stinking up a storm. Well, it's not the sweat that smells so much as the sweat's reaction with the bacteria on your skin.
Sighing, I sat
Is the
myself.
sweat going, ooh, ooh, tasty sweat?
And the bacteria is doing that.
Sighing, I sat myself at the wooden desk beside the window.
Suddenly struck with an idea, I dug
It
around.
flew in through the window.
I want to laugh, but I have food in my mouth. I dug around in the various drawers and in the desk until I had 2 pieces of parchment, a brush set, a quilt, and an ink pot on the desk. I closed my eyes and brought up the image in my mind. I memorized that image before I opened my eyes and started to paint identical copies of it. The sun was a finger's width above the horizon when I set the paintings aside to dry.
I sat back in the wooden chair and stretched my arms. Glancing down at my blue dress, I cringed at the dirt and blood that was smeared across the blue fabric. Ah, you wore that into a bed, too. Ah, now the bed sheets are ruined. Ew. Gross. You're gross, main character.
Why is everything green?
What? Oh, God. Alvin Fwang, no. Well, mind is... Nah. I hate it.
My mind.
I hate it. 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 You have immediately dropped down to 0 stars out of 20.
Wow, Llytic, why don't you mind it a bit better?
Oh, might as well change into something else and get this washed. I stood up and walked over to the closet, opening the double doors to reveal dresses of all colors and designs, none of which were in my size. Letting my eyes drift over the dresses, one stood out more than the others. I pulled it out and took a look at it. It was ice blue with lavender and dark blue accents. Shrugging, I threw it over my shoulder, getting it covered in dirt and blood as well. And walked into the bathroom, quickly changing dresses and stepping out afterwards.
Is it me, or has the grammar kind of gone down?
I think it's just that one consistent typo.
Yeah.
At least it's consistent. A knock sounded on my door as I set my dirty dress down on my bed.
Why are you putting it on the bed?
She hates the bed. She wants to ruin it.
That's your
Because
bed.
fuck the royal castle.
You have to go back to that bed. Did the bed ever do to you?
Nah, Artie's gonna come and be like, wow, your bed's really dirty. She's just gonna be like, ooh, sorry, I guess you have to leave early now then. Bye.
I guess I have to share yours.
Suddenly
Suddenly a jazz theme starts playing.
Opening the door, right?
Yeah.
Opening the door, I saw it was Artie with a platter of fruit and another smaller platter of meat.
I thought you might be hungry. Can I come in? He asked, entering when I stepped aside and closed the door behind him. I then locked it.
Saxophone music starts playing in a minor key.
Oh, God.
I thought you would still be sleeping, Your Highness, I commented playfully, earning a playful smile.
You have earned nothing.
Haha. Don't call me that, please. You're my best friend, and you shouldn't have to call me that, he stated, sitting down on my bed and setting the fruit aside him.
You look good in that dress, by the way, he added, making
Thanks, I stated, sitting beside the fruit and taking a strawberry from it.
Just the one.
We didn't talk much while we ate. We just enjoyed each other's company.
So where do you plan on going? Artie asked.
God damn it, Arlie, you broke the silence.
We had a good thing going here.
And I shrugged and replied, I don't know. Maybe I'll visit the elves' ancient home. Then maybe I'll try to find my parents' graves. After that, I might wander around a bit.
'Cause I'm the wanderer, and I
Look
wander.
thoughtful for a few minutes.
Only a few. Do you know exactly where the forests are? He finally asked.
I shook my head and said I was hoping I could find a map somewhere.
I'm just gonna wander around, see what happens, you know?
A++ planning. A smile.
A smile crept onto his face and he said, I think we might have a few maps in the Royal Library. Come on.
I only shrugged and followed Artie out of my room. Finally, he pushed an oak door open to reveal a large circular room covered to wall to wall with books and scrolls. I gasped at the sight of all the material that was in there.
The royal librarian quickly strided to us and bowed, murmuring, Your Highness.
Speak up!
Your Highness, and you Artie blushed slightly at the attention.
I think like the whole murmuring thing in stories has become a legit pet peeve for me.
Mm-hmm.
He says that while murmuring. It was a joke, please, I'm sorry. Please don't murder me.
I think you're past the point of being able to bargain with him, Zane. You may as well just start running.
Yeah, I gotta go. You don't mind, right?
What can I do for you? She asked when she straightened up.
We need a map of the land before the forest elves genocide and a current map, Artie said. I'm going to replace genocide with spontaneous heart attack plague.
Spontaneous heart attack plague.
It's really dangerous time of year. The librarian bowed again and scurried off to find the maps. Artie
on all fours
to an empty table and sat beside me.
Just kind of dropped to all fours. All four of her limbs just big, like outward at odd angles. Just
yes, master.
Of course,
just crawls up the wall
along the ceiling.
What? This is where I keep the maps.
Just okay. That was wrong.
Alrighty then.
You know, it's a bit weird having everyone bowing to me all the time. It's your first day here. I don't say all the time yet. It has just started. Give it at least another day.
It's been one of those days.
I giggled a bit and said, well, you'll get used to it.
And if not, I'll make you.
There's gonna be a lot more bowing towards you from here on out, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Better get used to it.
You're gonna get the shit respected out of you.
The librarian came back a few minutes later with 2 rolled up maps in her arms.
I have done what you have asked, sire. Please let me know if you need any assistance, she said, setting the maps on the table and bowing.
I know you're far too stupid to understand any of these maps.
When she scurried away to her desk, it just like bends backwards. We opened up the maps and looked at them.
It's like that one scene of The Exorcist where Reagan just like crawls down the stairs. Upside down.
Stop. Stop.
You know, I think I made a mistake in accepting this position. What is it you require?
Will that be all?
Do you need anything?
Saya?
Can I get you anything to drink, Saya? Perhaps a refreshing tea. Or maybe some lemonade. Would you like some coffee?
Where did you come from?
The depths of hell. Quite a lovely place, actually. This is so stupid. Where are we?
It's Zane's line, I believe.
Okay.
Oh, really? That's a surprise. Well, I started pointing to the nearest forest marked on the map. The WAWR star is near, and I read that Queen Marinera lived there.
Queen Mariana's Trench.
Mm-hmm.
I shifted to look at a modern map continuing. And look, it's still there. That's convenient.
Glancing back and forth between the maps, I noted that there was an old path that led to the forest from the main road.
I mean, it's a forest. I don't really think those things disappear overnight, dude.
Just in the background, you can hear the librarian scuttling around. Crawling up the bookshelves to replace books.
Even though the path isn't on the current map, I could probably find it, though, I said, pointing out the difference.
Hiding from beside me.
The forest is about 200 miles from here. You could probably get there in about a week on foot. Maybe less on horse, already commented, examining the maps.
Nodding, I then shifted my focus to the other forests on the map. They're pretty far away, even from the WAWR. I think I might stick to the WAWR.
Is there anything you want, Saya?
No, we're good. For now, then decide to on the others later.
This is the stupidest joke we've come up with yet.
I mean, still funny.
Hearing the door open up like I start to see the queen striding towards us. Ah, I see you've met the head librarian. Greetings, my lady.
There you are. Cub, you need to say goodbye to your cousins, she called, causing Artie to jump.
I giggled and helped him up, following them down the hallway to the courtyard.
I will see you later, sire. In your nightmares.
Stop! No. Shrek, Fiona, Donkey, Dragon, and Drag Keys, Star,
I hate that.
and Puss were all waiting for us. Smiling sadly, I hugged them all in turn.
They were dronkies.
Yeah, the right word is dronkies, you swine. Hope I can visit the swamp one day. I
Stay out of my
swamp! Just boots her. I commented as I hugged Fiona.
Oh, you're more than welcome at our home, Ava, Shrek stated.
Immersion ruined.
Yes. 100%.
My
Same
immersion
point.
was ruined when we started reading this.
Good point.
Smiling gratefully, I wished them all a safe journey and watched them take off on Dragon from a safe distance. When they were only a small speck in the sky, I went back inside. I suddenly realized I could have asked the dragon for a ride. Huh.
I then realized that the head librarian was on the ceiling above me.
Oh, are you on break now?
Would you like anything?
Answer now, please. I can only hold this position for so long.
My break is ending soon. I have to go back to my nest. I mean library.
Oh, Oh, now I want to just make a spider librarian. And that's literally, they just made their home, but then people started putting books in it. So now they just watch over the books.
Just returns a book late, comes out of nowhere, grabs it, hisses, and scurries back into the library.
I'm not even imagining, I'm imagining, the library was built, but there was no librarian, and then suddenly they just appeared. No one knows where they came from. It's just one day, as you're looking through books, looking for a book, it's just suddenly, can I help you with anything? Directly behind you and slightly up. I turn around and they're just standing over you.
Boy, I sure wish our library had a librarian.
You called?
What is that noise?
Who the hell are you?
Oh boy.
I don't think I can last much longer.
We're almost done with this chapter, I think. I don't know.
Oh.
The chapter's not what's getting to me.
It's my stupid joke. Whose line is it? I think it's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ava, Merlin left something for you, the queen said, gesturing for something leaning against the wall.
Bomb?
Bomb? Lamp oil? Curious, I picked
You're a bit richer.
Curious, I picked it up and gasped when it was my sword, clean and sharpened. It was in a temporary scabbard for safety purposes. One look.
So she did have her scabbard.
It's so sharp you can cut yourself just by looking at it.
Oh, fuck.
Ah! My eyes! Ah!
Oh, God. I'm blind. I'm blind.
It just falls from the ceiling, clutching.
No. You look at her and just other eyes open up on her body. That's better. I must return to my nest.
I kind of want to make this character a thing in something.
I mean, for that other D&D setting you have set up, that could be a character we run into.
It could. I'll just have to see.
Apparently, we just give you ideas for terrible NPCs.
No. For glorious NPCs.
Yeah,
They're not
nothing
terrible.
about
They're
this
glorious.
NPC isn't terrible. This is the best joke ever.
We have a pyromaniac fairy, an unkillable eldritch tiefling, and the librarian.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
And the librarian.
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm just imagining character traits, personality, librarian, bond, librarian, flaws, librarian.
Is it my line?
That book was returned late.
Just start
high speed
screaming.
scuttling. No, not even screaming. It's just closer and closer at high speeds.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly it just stops and you look over and it's like somehow jumping at you.
Yeah,
but it's like been off the ground for a good 10 seconds.
Look at that, it's just sailing. Her body's just completely almost like a torpedo at this point. Just jumped.
Give me the book.
Give me the book. All of a sudden there's a sonic boom.
Is it my line?
It very well might be.
Tom?
Smiling tenderly.
I lost track.
Tom said curious, so I think for you would be smiling tenderly.
Smiling tenderly at the weapon, I followed Artie back to the library and sat back down at our table. The librarian walked up and asked if we needed anything.
Is there anything you require? Is it possible for me to see the current map? Keep the current map. I asked, gesturing to one of the maps.
No.
She nodded and went back.
Yes.
She nodded and went back to the ceiling, when we didn't have any more questions. After about an hour in the library, Artie got called down to the Queen's office for some lessons in ruling the kingdom.
Good luck, I said as I watched him get up from our table.
See you later, sire. After about 15 minutes, more minutes in the library, I rolled up the maps and took them with me to my room. Make sure to return those on time. Our late fees are upon the flesh.
Oh.
After I stopped and asked the servant for directions, I opened the oak door and entered, closing it after me. That's typically what you do when you close a door and when you enter a room. The maid already cleaned up the room. With a sigh, I dropped the maps onto the bed and sat down at the wooden desk, reflecting on all the events that led us here.
Damn, I never realized what we went through so much just to get here. I mean, I had more adventure in the past few days than my entire time at Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
There we go.
Saying, I propped my head on my hand and gazed out the window.
The librarian was crawling around the fields.
She's been rather active lately.
Just going through the hedge maze over the walls.
She's just brute forcing the hedge maze.
Just crashing through the hedges. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever find happiness like the librarian did. Well, I'm happiest around Artie, but I wonder if someone someplace will ever have the same effect on me.
I doubt it.
I mean,
That's
that
not
librarian,
me.
though.
That's the line.
Maybe the librarian. The librarian has brought us more happiness than the entire story.
Outside in the courtyard, a few people were carrying a board with something on it, covered with a white sheet. I have a firm suspicion of what is on that board, and it seems the librarian shares that suspicion.
Charging at them at high speeds. You hear a sonic boom as she launches herself off the ground towards them.
What would be more terrifying, her screaming or just her being completely silent?
Silent. I like the idea of her being silent because that's a lot more funny and terrifying.
Oh my gosh, she's been making noise for like years, but then one day she just stops making it, and you don't know why. So she just starts sneaking up on you. Do you need anything?
Do you require anything?
But without the thumping.
Oh god. Would you like this? Oh god, what's the thing that allows you to like find out where the book is? Not the Dewey Decimal System itself, but like the thing you look at for.
Would you like? I don't.
Catalog? The catalog?
Would you like to look at our catalog?
What the fuck? When'd you get here?
I've always been here.
I'm always watching. Always.
As she says that, the old extra eyes open up.
I'm
always watching.
Then the eyes around the library. Then there are eyes around the library on like the walls and stuff that open up too.
I'm not the library.
I'm not just a humble librarian. I am the library.
This is getting worse. It's like some like
there's just a gentle breathing. There's a gentle breathing noise from all around you.
This is like some like weird like Eldritch Abomination universe where like, you know, you just casually live side by side with, you know, freaks of nature that you don't understand.
Horrific Eldritch Abomination, but completely harmless. It just wants to give you books.
It wants to teach you. It wants to help people read.
I exist to spread literacy. It's what I feed off of.
Knowledge.
It sustains me.
But don't worry, I'm not going to make you stupid if you read.
That's
the part.
Not
the more
even
people
knowledge
that read,
itself.
the more knowledge is around. So I eat better when more people have knowledge.
No, I'm not even imagining that she feeds off knowledge. She feeds off of literacy itself. The concept of literacy. So long as people know how to read, she is fed.
Just the most friendly eldritch abomination ever. I mean, yeah, it's still trying to eat, but it's eating by teaching people. Oh, I can just imagine it trying to attack the library. She's just like, no.
Who read last? Oh, it was Zane. Okay, I felt my entire body stiffen at the thought of that monster. Hey, the librarian is a very nice lady.
Yeah, come on.
I heard you talking shit.
She just climbs onto the window and just stares inside.
It's like that one thing we had during Monster every other week, but with the librarian. Just perched on the window, looking in. I heard you were talking shit. I often wonder who would do that to a small child. What was going through his mind? I do feel guilty for the 4 men that I killed, but not him. I felt no guilt or remorse for Charming. I'm actually glad that I rid the world. Now he can't take advantage of any other little...
I still remember the feelings that assaulted me after the event. I remember feeling guilty, confused, lost, scared, angry, and most of all, dirty and impure. No matter how many times I bathed and scrubbed my skin until it hurt, I felt that I wasn't clean. I can remember feeling unworthy of someone else's touch. They didn't deserve touching someone who was so unpure.
Your use of this topic is very disrespectful. The people who have actually gone through these problems.
But in a twisted way, I should be thankful. Because of what he did, he made me into the person I am now.
Motherfucker!
He was the inspiration for my weapon training in the orphanage. He was the reason I worked so hard at my studies so that I could get out of there and avenge my innocence. That, and because of Artie, well, I got my revenge, and now I'm going to explore my past soon.
You did not! You did not! Do not come rolling up on me with this empowerment through assault bullshit.
This isn't a topic I feel comfortable talking about right now.
Look, I'm gonna be real. I was annoyed earlier, but no. No. If you pull... Anyone out there, if you pull this whole thing of, oh, they became strong because they got horrifically and violently assaulted, fuck you. Don't pull that shit. It's lazy, it's disrespectful, and you're a fucking asshole. Honestly, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. One part of me, my heart, wants to stay with Artie. But the other, my mind, is telling me to go and see what's out there. My mind won out in that internal struggle, but my heart is still putting up a good fight.
To be perfectly freaking honest, I'm scared to leave.
I know. Pathetic.
Like that trope. But fact is fact. I'm scared of going out on my own. I'm scared of what I might find, but if Artie finds himself a beautiful princess... What if Artie finds himself a beautiful princess and forgets all about me? It's another thing I'm scared of. The only thing you should be scared of is me! Crashes through window.
Something small.
As she did the sonic jump.
Something small.
You should be scared of is me.
Crash.
Something small and wet touched my hand, startling me out of my thoughts. I was alarmed to see a tear roll down my skin and drop onto the desk.
I smell tears, child.
What is wrong?
I don't nose as well.
Let me consume the salt from your face.
Just licks up the tear. Just
delicious.
Please do not cry anymore. As much as it's tasty, I know it's not good for you. You should go face whatever's wrong. Anyways, bye.
As delicious as it is, you're quite the ugly crier.
Roughly wiping my eyes with my sleeve, I stood up and retrieved my bags, spreading them both out in front of me. Grabbing a small brush, I dipped it into the ink and carefully drew the old path onto the current map. After letting it dry, I labeled the path with my quill and rolled up the map after that was dry, glancing at the wall clock. It was almost noon.
It was almost noon.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make me starve, child. Well, might as well get some lunch.
Mind as well. Again, at least it's consistent.
Well,
all right, that's where we're gonna leave that.
Nice. I'm super tired.
I'm super gay.
Wow, actually, it's a good thing we stopped. It's another musical one next.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, special thank you to Destiny Baird and Jillian A for donating to our Patreon. If you'd like a shout out like this, either verbally or on screen right now, consider checking out our Patreon, link in the description. You can get your name on screen for as little as $1 a month. Get me to say your name for as little as $5. And with that,
see y'all next time.
If you want your reward, go to the library.
Bye-bye.